Hey everybody, it's Coach Neil again, and I'm with Nikolai, my good pal. We just got a ground out today, so he's pretty excited. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we got to clean up rear naked chokes. In my opinion and experience, most guys do not have a good quality rear naked choke, and they can't problem solve it. They rely completely on speed or sweat or power to get it in. And there's more technique than that. So I'm going to show you how to protect your hands. I'm going to show you some tricks. So today we're just focusing on the grips to get a rear naked choke. Okay? So Nikolai, you're going to sit like you are now, but you're going to sit. Okay. So coaches, this is how I have guys do the drill. So they're not worried about the leg work, just worried about the body work. Okay? So first thing first is the position of my body. If his head is under my head, the chances of choking him are slim to none, okay? Especially if he's got any skill. I want my shoulders to line up with his shoulders, and I want my chest under his upper back, okay? So when I'm here, I literally want to be like this. I literally want my head on his shoulder. I want to be that close to him, all right? So your head should be sticking out like he's a two-headed monster, okay? Now, the typical hand position guys will go is in this position, and that's just fine. But what happens a lot of times, guys will switch the hands. This is a crucial mistake. When you're here and you switch the hand, you just gave him the choking hand. If he takes that away from you, now what do you have? You got a scramble that you didn't want. Okay, so always protect your choking hand. Now, when I'm here and playing this position, I always round my back and round my shoulders. I do this to get more contact. And the other thing I do is I hug them tight. A lot of guys just sit here and they think it's a resting position, so they catch their breath and get the choking. And it's a working position. You gotta work the rest. You gotta keep your shoulders in, and you gotta squeeze them tight. Okay, keep them tight. Now, what I like to do in this position, instead of kind of like keep my hands here, I'll kind of turn my thumb down a little into his chest, okay? And I'm doing that because I'm trying to hide a little bit of my wrist bone. And the other thing is, it's going to make it easier to get the choke in. So for this position, this is going to be my ridge. And I got to protect my ridge. So when I'm here, okay, I kind of switch it up. And now when I'm in this position, I'm going to start driving it into the sternum until I get in, okay? Now, once I come up and I go in, you gotta have a place where he's not gonna peel, and you gotta protect it. You should be able to do it with a choke one-handed, and that's what we're gonna focus on as well. So when I come up here, I get this in, I'm gonna bring my hands as high around the back as I can. I'm gonna put my chin on top of my own hand, and this is very important, I'm going to push my side of my cheek against his face. And I'm going to squeeze. Alright? The reason why this works is because your grapplers will always take a little something from you. If I'm like this, which is common, guys turn their head away, he can turn his head in multiple directions right now. He can turn towards me, turn away. I mean, it's just going to be a pain. Okay? If I have his head blocked straight, he's not going to have the option of moving his head or even shrugging when it's tight. But I have everything locked into place. So when I'm here, I have to make strong contact. It's weird. It's acting like I'm being sweet on him, okay? Because I'm going cheek to cheek. But it's the best way to control and prevent him from countering this. Now, once I'm there, this elbow, see the space I can put my hand under? This elbow's got to compress to a sternum. And what that does is, as it compresses, my shoulder comes forward and pushes his head down into the choke. And it keeps him tighter from digging it out. Okay? So just like you do like a triangle choke, you pull the head to finish. It's almost the same thing, except my shoulder's doing the work. See how it's compressing. So when I'm here, I grind it in, I lock it, and now my shoulder comes in. You see, he taps. He taps. Okay? So now, put it in a little bit of a sequence here. When I'm here, I'm hiding my hand and I'm staying tight to him. A lot of times what happens here is they'll look to pull the top hand off. They peel it. So when they're here, they peel it, this one comes in. Now, from here, I push my head, pinch the elbow, and I like to get a one-on-one. I get that one-on-one, and I pin it to his hip. So now from here, pinch the elbow down to the sternum and squeeze. And that's one-handed choke. Okay? So from here, I'm staying tight, digging my thumb into the chest. He's fighting the hands, he's trying to get free. In and compress. Okay, and that's without using my hips or my legs. I'm getting it set with one-handed choke. Okay, one-handed choke. Very important. One time. Here, staying tight. He peels. I lock. One-on-one. Pinch in. That shoulder comes forward. See how that shoulder creeps in? So a lot of my neck and my shoulders are having a huge part of making this choke very good. Okay? I love this choke if I can get it, but at the end of the day, it's tricky. Kind of guys go here. They can't get it into position. They can't get their palm deep in the back of the neck here. So they only go here. At this point, I don't do this at all. We're looking at trouble. Okay? So when I'm here, go ahead and peel, and I go here and I get my one-on-one. If for some reason I can't get the finish, push the one-on-one down, come out, and lock an S grip. Get that form against the back of the shoulder, and keep your neck there and finish. Don't just turn your head now to finish in here, because he'll start pushing on my elbow up, and he's going to start creating problems. Remember, guys that shrug and have good defense here, go ahead and shrug. You know, this is going to make it very tricky to get in. Okay. Now another grip. I like it a lot. I don't have a ton of wrist flexibility, so I don't do it as much as I would like to. And that's, you'll see guys sometimes do this. The key is to do it like this. Literally rolling. Then I'm putting the back of my wrist against his body. Okay, and I'm doing that because if he wants to block my choke, if he gets on my ridge right there, so if I'm like this and he gets the ridge, I'm not going to be able to choke him. He's got a good block on that ridge, okay? But if I rotate and put the ridge down and get to the top, even if he focuses 2 or more with the choking hand, he's only getting the top, the bottom of the ridge actually. So now all I have to do is rotate my wrist and I'm in. Once again, getting my choke. So from here, rotate. So the more I can rotate, and now he starts to peel, he's working, I rotate and he's in. Okay, so I have to protect my ridge. In other words, if he gets his thumb in and all that, it's got to be tricky. It's got to be tricky. Now, from this position, I want to get into one more detail. Guys that do get control of your wrist. Guys that are really sneaky. Sometimes if I'm here like this and this guy is just, he's just tough, I can't get any good work done here. So what I'll do is I'll slide my hand down. I slide this down, so he'll grab it. He'll grab that wrist. He'll grab my bonnet and grab my bonnet. He goes here. Now he's working an escape. Well, actually what he did is he created a bait for myself. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to come over his wrist and I'm going to lock an S grip. I'm going to get a better grip on the wrist. Yeah. Over the top, lock an S grip. And now what I do is I pull it tight to his sternum and I'm going to start turning it like I'm turning a key. You know the key, he's tapping. All he has to do is release it. Release my grip and whip it out. And now I'm back in. Okay? So if you get stuck here, you're like, dude, this guy is just hand fighting me. Just give him something to grab. He's just gonna feel safe here. Now I hack, lock my S grip, and I start to pull it into his chest, rotate it into my choke, and get the tap. Okay? Now, one of the last things I want to cover is cross facing. I don't know why guys don't do this more. And when I see them do it, they're doing it really wrong. Okay, especially in MMA, cross-facing should be one of the number one choices. Okay, and that is when I go for a crossface here, too many guys crossface on the upper part of the face. Okay, he's not gonna break because of that. I have to crossface and use this right here, bottom jaw. That's the weakness. That is the weakness. That's what I attack. So I'm gonna go here. So when I crossface, I'm gonna use the back of my wrist and grab right there. See, I'm on his chin. So when I go here now, if I'm like this and I crossface in, and I get here. Once I twist him here to the side, you can't twist his head off. So now this right here goes in. I curl it, bring my wrist to my shoulder. So when I'm in this position, I just got squeezing. It is brutal. His jaw will explode. But guess what? He can save himself. All he's got to do is hold my arm down and now pull it under your chin. You see? So when I'm like this, and he's like, no, I can't get anything. I'm trying to work on my stuff. And real light, here it goes. Wham! Lock, squeeze. Oh, he gave it to me. Other words, I get here, and I'll start tapping. Okay, it's a terrible feeling. I can state this from experience. I had this done at highest than where I trained from, and I can't even eat right today. It clicks, it's crazy. All right, so try these things at home, okay? And you're probably gonna have to watch this tape a lot, because I showed you a lot of different grips. But get these grips down. Don't work the legs in until you really have accomplished the grips. In other words, you're just gonna sit there and grappling, trying to slide everything in, make it all pretty and perfect, and it's just not going to be well. You got to think. Compare yourself to the top 5 in the world, not the top 100. All right? Okay, guys, that's it for me today. Thanks, Nick. Congratulations. And I'll see you next on the next High Boost.